Gerald Gardner, Detroit. Pat Lake, Alabama. Wapowski, good morning. Anders from Sweden. Sally from Oregon. Ken Alexander from Houston. Ulrika from Sweden. Bing from Indonesia. That's be different. I don't know who that is, from Holland. Robert from Las Vegas. Shane West from Chicago. Natasha from Ireland. I see Crawley, UK. Michelle Whitby, Franklin, Tennessee. Anders, Malmo, Sweden. Yasmin, West Hollywood, California. Tracy from Connecticut. Margie Horn. Colin from Birmingham, UK. Doug from York, UK. My cousin Marnita from Colorado. Richard from Los Angeles. Penny from Oregon. Jacqueline from Florida. On high in UK. Charlie Clark from the UK. Helen from St. Helen. Helene from St. Helena. Shoba from the UK. Leon Fori from South Africa. Vivencio from the Philippines. Margie from Florida. See Georges from St. Martin. Mark from Anchorage. Elta, Lively, Las Vegas. Thought I saw you got a birthday coming up, Elta. I see admin or Dean Hibbs from Central Oregon. Desmond from Columbia, South Carolina. Paul from Detroit. Paulus from the UK. Dagmar, California. Terry, South Carolina. G from Arizona. Ria from the Netherlands. David from the UK. Stephen, Little Rock, Arkansas. Serena from Charleston, South Carolina. Katerina from Sweden. Steve from Sulphur Springs, Texas. Catherine Foster from California. Nitin from India. Angelina from Salinas Central. Angelita Salinas from Central Oregon. Paul from the UK. Lena from Sweden. Momax from Mexico. I don't remember when I saw Mexico on here. Welcome. Paul from Toronto. Avia from Naples, Florida. John from Scotland. Juhani from Sweden. Bill Hunter from Leeds. Joaquin from Sweden. Carmen, Clarkston, Georgia. Alex from Crawborough, UK. Derek, Manchester, UK. UK is representing today. Margin from the Netherlands. McGraw, Little Rock, Arkansas. Lori from Arizona. Jeanette from South Dakota. Yes, Margie, this will be recorded. Johan from Sweden. Gwen from Cheney, Washington. Rigoberto, Mission, Texas. Thank you, Sally. You're a rock star. Sally from Oregon. Antoinette from Belgium. Philip from South Africa. That's the man right there. You guys watch out for Philip. Martin from Steinig, UK. Queen Becky from South Africa. Lloydie Pooh from West Vancouver. Yana from New York. Michael from Sweden. Michael from Sweden. I always say your name wrong. Lingiwe from South Africa. Another superstar, South Africa. Rachel from the UK. Liz from the UK. Johan from Sweden. Sakani from South Africa. Valerie from British Columbia, Canada. British Connecticut, Canada. No, Columbia. Robin from Concord, North Carolina. Tim, Bedford, Texas. Martin Kodak from Liverpool, UK. Anders from Sweden. Peter from Dirty Jersey. Dan Williams, the man from Tampa, Florida. See Kayla from Washington State. Althea Fort Lauderdale. Althea from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Kelly B from North Carolina. Andy from Thailand. Rick from the UK. Kathy from British Columbia, Canada. Debbie from Canada. Kim from Georgia. And I see Paul from Newark. Annette from Tennessee. Grace from Ontario, Canada. Julia from New York. Ashley from Bend, Oregon. Okay, I'll be here all day. Let me go ahead and shut this off. I just wanted to make sure I gave everybody a shout out. As you guys can see, we have people logging in from all over the world. Let me not forget to hit the record button. All right, good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. Welcome to our special Saturday presentation training for Up2Give. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. As you see, we have people from all over the world, literally. My name is Brandon Ivey from Los Angeles, California, and as a disclaimer, I am not the CEO, I am not the co-owner of the company, and I'm not a licensed financial advisor. to be giving financial advice. What I am is one of you. A good friend of mine gave me a call and said, Brandon, we're putting together a company that is right up your field of expertise, which is blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. I actually resigned from the direct selling space about 3 years ago to go full time in the cryptocurrency world. So that's where I've been. But the focus of the company is on education, philanthropy, and charity. With Up2Give, and their motto is let's be different. I said, how can you go wrong with philanthropy and charity? But I didn't have a full understanding of it when I first saw this. You see, at Up2Give, we have a strong moral, integral, and purpose-driven vision to change lives around the world through our ecosystem. We're standing on 4 pillars. Philanthropy. We are focused on creating a culture of worldwide giving. Education. Reward those who give while teaching them the value behind growing personally. Banking. Bank the unbanked through our giving. And personal causes. Create a social revolution of stories with people whose needs have been met through the Up2Give community. We have built a model where people from around the world can come together, get educated, banked, and skilled in the principles of philanthropy and EQ, emotional intelligence, while creating a culture of global giving. During the education process, we will be teaching members how to utilize one of our tools for contributing called the Giving Box. This will allow us to fulfill the purpose of our core principles, as well as help contribute to the stories being shared in our community to engage the social revolution part of our culture. Here are some examples of our target areas of focus. Education. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development found that 50% of U.S. adults can't read a book written at an 8th grade level. Lack of formal education results in lower earning power and serious threats to an individual's long-term well-being. Banking. Globally, about 1.7 billion adults remain unbanked without an account at a financial institution or through a mobile money provider. Health. Currently, nearly 1 billion people spend 10% of their household income or more on health expenses for themselves, a sick child, or another family member. In fact, we have some 3.8 billion people around the globe who lack access to basic health care. And we see that being strained because of coronavirus right now. And housing. Currently, over 850 million people, more than the populations of the U.S. and the European Union combined, are living in informal settlements. So what is our ultimate goal? It's simply to empower you and people around the world to contribute toward anyone's cause in our ecosystem, whether it is to help achieve a goal that helps someone in your family, your church, your country, your community. It really doesn't matter how big or small that vision or mission is. We will bring the nations together to help support those causes, and with our model being a model of philanthropy, we are confident that the Up2Give family will be there for you. Up2Give is a global correlation movement. So let's talk about one of the pillars that we're standing on. How does someone get educated in our ecosystem? Well, we partnered with a company called Success Training Institute. This institute offers cutting-edge soft skills training in audio-video format on topics such as leadership, customer service, professional development, personal development, sales, team building, HR management, management training, and much, much more. In fact, you can even get certified in taking additional courses in things like how to improve your brand and self-discipline, goal setting and time management, maintaining focus and empathy. And we're all practicing social distancing. How about getting or learning social skills mastery? See, one thing that my mentors taught me is that success leaves clues. And these soft skills are not being taught in school. Once you have this skill set, you will be successful and it will benefit you in anything that you do for the rest of your life. Success Training Institute offers state-of-the-art soft skills training that's designed for individuals, companies, and entrepreneurs. Here you can improve your skills in less than 10 minutes per day. Another pillar that we're standing on is the banking industry. There's 1.7 billion people in the world that are currently unbanked. And if you don't have access to a bank account, you don't have access to a line of credit, checking and a savings account, the ability to get a personal or business loan so that you can start a business and pass down to your family, you're locked out. See, we partner with a company called Ooh La La that wants to bring you the future of banking. Be the first to send and receive money for a fraction of the cost. Access microcredit offers from your favorite retailers, pay bills with ease, build credit, enjoy online shopping, and take charge of your financial future with our exclusive Ooh La La partnership without the need of having a bank account. Ooh La La is a full-service financial solution designed to empower communities. With Ooh La La, you're going to be able to facilitate and accelerate financial inclusion with our blockchain-powered platform and app. You'll be able to build a global credit score, access virtual and physical card payments, secure transactions, personalized offers, bill payments, and more. And we even have microcredit offers for the unbanked and underbanked community to help to build their credit history. Oolala's mission is to offer inexpensive financial services to this demographic so that we can help you to establish a credit score so you can now participate in the formal financial economy. And another pillar that we're standing on is personal causes, and this is the backbone of what Up2Give is all about. We want to create a social revolution of stories with people whose needs have been met through the Up2Give community. We currently have 35,000 causes and growing, and I'm going to need to update that because I think we're more over 40,000 now. So what is your cause? What is your story? What are you passionate about? My mentors also used to tell me that no matter what it is that you do, you're not going to be able to do it by yourself. You need a little bit of help. Your personal cause could be anything from, I don't know, you're just trying to get yourself out of debt. You know, you want to be able to pay your bills, your mortgage, your rent, buy food. You've got medical expenses for yourself or your family. I mean, it could be anything. You might be part of a nonprofit or a church organization because of social distancing, and you're not able to meet on Sundays that the tithing is low. Nobody's donating and giving anymore because they can't. It doesn't matter what your cause is, it's yours. How would you like to be able to have a platform that allows you to share your cause with the world, and the world can contribute to it? Here's an example of a cause. Providing safe shelter to homeless and abused women and children in crisis. Or even, how about this one? Breast cancer research saves lives, and research is the reason. See, once you create your cause, anyone that comes to the website will have the opportunity, if your cause touches them, to contribute to it. And you may know them or you may not know them. So how does someone get started? Well, step one, you're going to get back to the person who invited you. You're going to set up an account at up2give.com, and you're going to pay the $32 to Up2Give. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to contribute to personal causes in the Up2Give community, 0.005. That's around $50 US. So right there, what's your biggest risk factor? Because that's what everybody asks. What am I going to lose instead of what am I going to win? But your biggest risk is about $82 a month. And if you do this right, you're only going to come out of pocket one time. Why? Because the third step is, after you write your story, you're going to share this with two people who join the community. That's it. If you can do these three steps, you're going to have massive success with Up2Give. So here's the sign-up process and experience. Let's say you're Maria in California, and she shares a link with John, and John is in London. The moment John clicks on her link, the first thing he will see is her story. And once John reads her story, he's going to have two options. Option one, join the community, or option two, support Maria's cause. Now, once John has clicked to join, the system will take him to the registration page where he can add his basic information. Now, let's talk about John's experience. John now has 14 days free in the Up2Give community. Now, what does this mean? John has the opportunity to experience our back office and ecosystem. John could take the sample courses we have available in our Up2Give Academy portal, powered by Success Training Institute. John has enough time to decide to become a member or simply contribute to Maria's cause, because you have the option to simply contribute and not join the community. Now let's assume that John decides to join Maria's journey. John has before the 14th day midnight to pay a $32 member fee in Bitcoin for the activation of his education program at Up2Give Academy. He'll be able to create a story and have a user link to share. And the moment he contributes to Up2Give causes during that same period of time, he becomes a ground zero member of the Giving Box. Now, the more people who contribute to each other, the more Up2Give is going to contribute back as well. And our contributing happens in stages of the Giving Box. For example, when you complete stage 3 in the Giving Box, Up2Give is going to give you a debit card so you can start monetizing the Bitcoin you've been given through our ecosystem. With this step of philanthropy, we will start to help change the banking crisis in the world, where so many people lack the opportunity to own a debit card. And this is our partnership with Oolala. Now, and this is another one of our announcements that we've made, during this next reset, you're going to see the option to be able to purchase this debit card instead of waiting to receive it for free on stage 3 for a small setup fee. Once you complete stage 4, you're going to have the option of choosing from 12 different cause-driven programs And once you've made the choice, you're going to follow all the steps given in your back office, and a liaison is going to be assigned to you to work for about 45 days to create a story out of that cause, which will go viral with it. This is separate from your own personal cause. This could be something different, whatever else you might be excited about. Up2Give is going to contribute on your behalf for reaching stage 4, a maximum of $1,500 to that cause, fulfilling our social revolution part of our 4 pillars. When you complete stage 5, Up2Give is going to reward you with an all-expense-paid trip to a recognition event, whenever coronavirus allows us to, where top speakers from around the world are going to come to teach about leadership, philanthropy, finance, personal development, and charitable causes. And when you complete stage 6, Up2Give is going to require you to give 12.5% back to the community and the ecosystem. See, this is not one of those things where the people at the top are making all the money, the people at the bottom are doing all the work. You see here, the people at the top are contributing the most. Up2Give is not about how much money can we help you make. Up2Give is about how much resources can we help you generate so you can become a philanthropist. That's what this is all about. Stage 6 in the giving box is the most critical stage due to the amount of contributions given to your cause. We will require you to be walking hand in hand with the Up2Give founding team to ensure that we maximize your giving potential. So how does Up2Give strive to be compliant? Well, number one, we do not touch the Bitcoin of anybody. How many times have you seen companies out there that say, give us all your Bitcoin, you can't withdraw it for 8 months, you don't have to do anything, but we're going to trade it, mine it, arbitrage it, whatever, on your behalf, and we guarantee you're going to make 1 to 2% a day on your money. Sounds good until the owners run off with everybody's Bitcoin before you have a chance to withdraw. I'm tired of seeing those scams and schemes out there. That's not what this is about. This is not a 6-month fly-by-night opportunity. Up2Give does not touch the Bitcoin. It's given peer-to-peer. What does peer-to-peer mean? Have you ever ridden in an Uber or a Lyft? Some of you may even drive it. That vehicle is not owned by the taxi company. It's owned by somebody else. Have you ever stayed in an Airbnb? That property is not owned by a hotel chain. It's owned by somebody else. See, we're taking advantage of the greatest financial revolution the world has ever seen in the case of blockchain technology and Bitcoin. Why? 3 reasons. Number one, it is decentralized. Bitcoin is not controlled by a bank, a government, a business, or a CEO, which means it cannot be manipulated or changed. Number 2, it is universal in value. There's no borders. 1 Bitcoin in Japan is worth 1 Bitcoin in Sweden, in South Africa, in Mexico, and Canada. Universal. And the 3rd reason is permissionless. You don't need a bank, Western Union, or a bank wire to transfer and send Bitcoin to anybody. You can send it to anyone you want with no restrictions, no limit on how much, almost instantaneous with a small minimum fee. The only thing that Up2Give gets is $32 to operate as a company, and it goes towards your membership to Success Training Institute, which, by the way, is more than half off regular price. Number 2, Up2Give is a major contributor in collective clauses. This is our stage 4. And number 3, Up2Give is a giving model that even for nonprofit identities such as churches is presented as a revolution of offerings in the ministry. The more they give each other, the more they receive. And you're going to start to hear and see a lot more about this from Dr. Alberto Alexander. There's even going to be a presentation designed just for nonprofits and churches. So what do you receive for the $32 a month? An entire ecosystem that will allow you to share your story to the world through our Up2Give.com blog. Access to our global education community at the Up2Give Academy, powered by Success Training Institute. Access to the Giving Box, which allows you to be part of our community blog and social revolution stories that are inspired by the members' philanthropical culture and cause-driven movement. And rewards for giving back to the community and their causes, which allows Up2Give to partner with you and create stories of our own when you start reaching stage 4 and above. So how does the contributing work? Let's talk about the Giving Box. It is a voluntary tool designed so that you can increase your resources to help more causes and at the same time improve the lives of those who participate. We have something very unique called the Global Community Line. This is not a matrix. This is not a binary, unilevel, any of that kind of stuff. There's no your team, my team, their team. It is one team, one community, one company. We're all a part of the same team. Very unique. So when you pay your $32 at Up2Give, and you're going to contribute $50 worth of Bitcoin to Up2Give causes in the community, this is going to enter you in what we call ground zero of the giving box. And after ground zero, there are 6 stages. Once you're in ground zero, your only job at this point is to share with others and to teach them how to do the same exact thing. Bare minimum, at least 2. Because when you share with 2 people who contribute $50 worth of Bitcoin each, you're going to receive double of what you've contributed and be eligible to move into stage 1. So let's talk about contributing and receiving. In ground zero, you contributed $50 worth of Bitcoin. You share with 2 people who did the same thing. You receive $100 worth of Bitcoin. Now, the goal and the point is to move through the stages. Get off of ground zero. You contribute that $100 that you've received. You're now qualified to receive up to $200 worth of Bitcoin in stage 1. You're going to contribute half of that back, which means you keep $100. Stage 2, you're qualified to receive up to $400 worth of Bitcoin. You're going to contribute half of that back. You get to keep $200 worth. Are you starting to see a pattern here? The more you contribute, the more you receive. Stage 3, you're qualified to receive up to $1,600 worth of Bitcoin. You contribute less than half of that back, 0.05. You keep $1,100. Now let me stop right there for just 1 second, because this is a worldwide international call. The average monthly salary around the world is between $500 and $1,000 on a monthly basis. Right here, you've received $1,400 worth of Bitcoin. We reset our system every 60 days. What does that mean? It means no matter what stage you're on, when the reset happens, we all go back to ground zero and we go through the contributions all over again. But does this mean you start all over again? No. You're at an advantage because you still have the same organization and global community line behind you. Which means wherever you left off with the previous reset, you're quickly going to get back to where you were and continue to move forward. So now we're talking about on average about $700 on a monthly basis. The average world is $500 to $1,000 a month. You're doing $700 a month on average. Is that a good day? But it doesn't stop there. Let's go one more stage. Stage 4, you're qualified to receive up to $8,000 in contributions. You're going to contribute 0.25 back to go to stage 5. But you keep $5,500. You add all stages 1 through 4, that's $6,900 worth of Bitcoin every 60 days, which is more than $3,400 on a monthly basis. $3,400 on a monthly basis. Now we're talking about full-time income in the United States. And what did you personally need to do to qualify? You personally shared with 2 people who contributed $50 each in ground zero. How did you get to stage 4? The global community line did the rest. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but there's more. There's a stage 5. Now there's a big jump between stage 4 and stage 5. Stage 5, you're qualified to receive up to 8 Bitcoin. You do the math. If Bitcoin is worth $10,000 a coin, you contribute 1 Bitcoin back, you get to keep 7. However, the qualification changes here. You must help at least 2 personals. Now you can share with more than 2. I've shared with more than 100, I'm getting close to 150. You can share with more than 2, but you need to have at least 2. 1 that receives all contributions on stage 3 and 1 that has contributed to stage 4, and you're qualified into stage 5. Last stage is stage 6. You're qualified to receive up to 64 Bitcoin. You're going to contribute 12.5% back. This goes back to, because as impressive as 64 Bitcoin is, because that's what got my attention when I saw this. The fact is that we're creating a community of philanthropists. How would you like to be able to say you're contributing more than $50,000 to charitable causes? Don't tell me how much money you make. Who are you helping? That's what this is all about. but an extra 56 Bitcoin doesn't hurt either. Now let's talk about the global community line, because this is important. 2 people does not equal 64 Bitcoin. 2 people does not equal $700 a month. There is no entity out there, no program out there where that is even remotely possible. But here's what happens here. You need at least 2 to move off of ground zero. And you enter stage 1, which we are currently in right now. A lot of you have never experienced a reset yet. This is your very first time. So right now, we just started ground zero yesterday. And as soon as the contributions hit your Bitcoin wallet, you'll be able to contribute and move into stage 1. Now, anybody that enters stage 1 after you is going to be in your global community line. I think last I checked, I think the ground zero global community line is over 8,000 right now in less than 24 hours. So stage 1, anybody that enters it after you will be part of your global community line. Now, every stage has a number that you must meet to be qualified to receive up to all the contributions on that stage. Stage 1 number is 40 from the global community line. Now, that can come from your personal efforts, your enroller and your personal team, or anybody around the world that hits stage 1 after you as part of your global community line. Stage 2 is 80. Stage 3 is 160. Stage 4 is 320. Stage 5 is 640. And stage 6 is 1,024. And I want to repeat this again. When you reach that number, you're qualified to receive up to all contributions on that stage and then move to the next. Another enhancement that you should see within the next 2 weeks is that the system is going to start to do automatic contributions, which means right now I'm told it's at stage 2. So you're going to personally contribute ground zero, stage 1. So stage 2 and above will be automatic. The system will do it on your behalf. So you're going to just see what you receive in your Bitcoin wallet, and you're not going to have to worry about getting back to your website, making sure you're contributing on time so that nobody skips you or any of that kind of stuff. The system's going to do that automatically, which means it's going to start to move even faster than normal. Now, to recap on how it all happens, you paid $32 at Up2Give. You contributed personal causes in the community, $50 worth of Bitcoin. You share with 2 people who do the same exact thing, and now you're qualified to receive Bitcoin towards your causes and purpose. And that is the presentation, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first out of 2 presentations, because I'm doing this again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, but it won't be as long and detailed as this. That'll only be maybe between a 17 to 20-minute presentation. But there's 2 types of people who see this presentation at this point. The first type of person says, Brandon, this is for me. I'm ready to get going. I want to get started. Let's roll. Great. Get back to the person who invited you. They'll get you signed up. The second type of person says, Brandon, this is not for me. That's understandable. It's not for everybody. We still love you. But I ask you to do something. Get back to the person who invited you. Ask to view their cause. And do them a favor and contribute to it. They thought enough of you to offer you a plan B. You turned it down. At least help them out in their plan B. And then I want you to do something else as well. Find a plan B. Today is Saturday. Because under the best of circumstances, you know what I would normally say? While we're all enjoying our weekend, is our break from the grind of our 9-to-5 job and the pressures of that 40 to 80 hour week. Sunday's going to come up, and Sunday night we'll start to prepare for Monday and a new work week. You're going to wake up before the sun comes up to go to rush hour traffic, only to rush to a job you don't like, to work with people you can't stand, to eat lunch at 12 when you're hungry at 11, to ask for permission to go to the bathroom as if you are a child, hoping you're going to get a Christmas bonus or even a raise. And if you're lucky enough not to get fired or laid off for the rest of your life, you're still going to retire broke, depending on family, government, and friends, because most people are living paycheck to paycheck. You don't even have enough money to save. And if you had a savings, 2008, wipe that out. No more pensions, no more 401k, no more savings. Those were the good old days when in America, most Americans had less than $1,000 in their savings account. Most Americans can't afford a $400 emergency without getting into debt. The average American earns less than $33,000 a year. Those were the good old days, because we live in a new world today, the coronavirus world, COVID-19, that has flipped the table. And it's not an American thing, it is a global thing where we are all told to social distance and stay home. And if you can't go to work, you're not getting a paycheck. Do you think the bills or your stomach cares that coronavirus is here? No, both need to be fed. And God bless our essential workers, the firefighters and the doctors, the police officers and the nurses, the ones you don't think about, the bus drivers and the postal workers, your grocery clerk attendants that have to cater to the entire population and risk themselves getting sick. And if they get sick now, they risk bringing that home to their family, but they have to do it to get a paycheck. I'm here to tell you there's a third option. And that third option is, how about finding a way to be productive and make money from home? How about that? There's millions of people who do it. This July, I celebrate my 8th year. I call it my Freedom Day, because 8 years ago on my birthday, I purchased my own freedom and retired from corporate America, and have been working full-time from home ever since. My youngest son, that's all he knows, is me working and being home 24/7. If other people can do it, so can you. Create your own stimulus check and not worry about if the government is going to take care of you. As a disclaimer, this is a brand new opportunity. Since we've been in pre-launch and the last couple of months of our soft launch, all we've been doing is collecting data. And the data that we've been collecting, we analyze it, we take a look at it, and we make the necessary adjustments and enhancements to make your experience even better. Every single reset has been an improvement on the previous one. And one thing I can guarantee, there will always be more enhancements to make it even better for you. We are about to experience the latest one right now. I've been waiting for this day for a very long time. We also do not allow income claims. This is not a 6-month fly-by-night opportunity or scam or pyramid thing. We want you to be able to go to sleep tonight knowing that when you wake up tomorrow, the company is still here. We have legal representation. We're registered in the United States. We do not do anything without the approval of our compliance and legal representation. And we will not allow anybody else to mess that up for us. So we monitor how we market and what we say. And even though that we have built a company for philanthropy and charity, we're not running a welfare center. Your success depends on you. We're not looking for people who want to ride the global community line. This is one thing, those of you that work with me, those of you that are calling me and sending me messages, asking me a million questions, the way I operate with you is I'm looking at your work ethic as well. And I'm talking about even big time heavy hitters. You will get none of my time if all you want to do is sit here and ride the global community line. We're looking for leaders and people who want to help build it. I don't care who you are. I know some 7- and 8-figure earners that we have. And if their entire mentality is, I just want to sit back and see what happens, you get none of my time. We are building for the future. And we want to give attention and help those that want to help build the company, not take advantage of it. So with that, that is the presentation. What I want to do now is turn it over to the head of our compliance and our chief communications officer and customer service, the gentleman that I've been working for a couple of years now, I have a lot of respect for. He has the ear and the backing of the entire company. You guys might maybe work with him one-on-one to give you guys a couple of updates and manage your expectations on what is happening during this reset, what to expect and what to do next. Let me bring up Mr. Chris Hanks. Chris, are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brandon. What a great presentation, brother. You did a flawless job. As always, Brandon, it is a
Thank you,
pleasure.
sir. No
As
problem.
always, it's a pleasure to be here with you, and it's a pleasure to get to just address the many people that listen to you and look up to you for all of the information and the great words that you have to share. How great does it feel, everybody, to be part of a global movement? I mean, come on. This is what you've all been waiting for. If you're brand new, this is what you were looking for. If you've been around for a minute, this is what you've been waiting for. So congratulations. Welcome to the family. We are where we need to be. I just want to let everybody know from corporate that we are moving really fast. And as Brandon shared with you, I haven't even had an opportunity this morning, I'm just going to be honest, to tell you that I looked at numbers. But I heard Brandon say that we're right around the 8,000 mark in ground zero. That is phenomenal. I want you guys to do the math in your head. Do the math in your head. All of that is since we hit the reset button, ladies and gentlemen. All of that is since we hit the reset button. That is phenomenal. Okay. And the reason I say that is because, Brandon was talking about how the giving box works and how the contributions work, right? And he was highlighting a couple of the stages. Everybody on this call has the opportunity and the ability to get to what? At least stage 3 this month, right? At least stage 3 this month. That is fantastic news. Okay. $1,600 can change many lives, many lives. And then what's going to happen, 30 days from now or 60 days from now? When you do it again, then you're looking at stage 4. I mean, this is how it works. So, just want to make sure that everybody understands the reason I'm excited about Ground Zero. You'll always hear Chris speak about Ground Zero in a very admirable way. In a very admirable way. And the reason is because that's where our lifeblood comes from. That's where we push the gas. Okay. So if we're working in Ground Zero, if we're helping people in and out of Ground Zero, that is a beautiful, beautiful thing because that's pushing everybody else up. Okay. That's called volume, ladies and gentlemen. You can't get volume to start in stage 3. You have to get volume to start in ground zero. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that. This is going to be the most successful reset we've ever had. I'm looking behind the wheels and behind the corporate desk, and I'm just in awe at what I've seen so far. We've got a lot of things coming. I don't know if you have had the opportunity. A lot of you have been very busy helping other people get in and out of ground zero. Thank you for that. Bravo. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see in your back office the real-time scroll. We have a real-time scroll back there. Okay. And what's awesome about that real-time scroll is within 3 to 5 minutes, the person that you just put in ground zero, you're going to see their name and the time and where they came from scroll across the screen, right? That's awesome. Last night I was putting people in and we had 2 computers running. One was putting them in, and I was on my admin computer to the side, and I was watching things, and I saw the names of the people that we were putting in scrolling across the screen, and I was like, wow, that is super fast. Knew that was going to happen, didn't realize that it was going to be so quick. Okay, so quick. So the awesome thing about that is it's going to help everyone know that's looking at Up2Give, right? You can use that as a tool, ladies and gentlemen, to show people in real time. This person just joined. This person just joined. This person just joined, right? And that is further verification and further confirmation for the folks that you're talking to that they have their hands on something real, that they have their hands on something real. Okay. So make sure that you use that. Make sure you enjoy that. It's a beautiful thing. All right. What else? Mr. Jerry Lopez alluded to on our company call, right, that there was some other things coming within the next 30, 60 days. You're going to have to watch your back office. A lot of stuff is going to be changing. Okay. And we're bringing things to the back office and we're bringing things to you all that you've asked for. So I'm super excited about that. Now, what should we be doing right now? What should we be doing right now? Exactly what you're doing. Okay. working in ground zero. I know that, and I just want to offer uh, an acknowledgement here, if I may. I know that it's very hard for all of us, right, to, excuse me, to make our contribution because we get excited, right? We make our contribution and we get our people started in ground zero. And the next thing you want to see if your contributions are coming in. I'm going to ask everybody to please be patient. Look at your mempool. You have a link in your back office to the mempool. If you don't understand mempool is just the traffic of the blockchain, and it's letting you know that it's congested or what's going on, okay? And as soon as that goes down a little bit, right? As soon as that goes down a little bit, then contributions will start flowing. Stage one will open, and it's off to the races, right? Now, some people are saying, hey, Chris, what about if I'm a founder? If I'm a founder, what is the advantage to me being a founder? Well, the advantage to you being a founder is you went in first, okay? You went in the system first. You went in the new global line first. You stay in that system in ground zero and in stage one, okay? So sponsorship follows in stage one. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. We can't have it both ways. Okay, everybody wants it to be faster. They want to see contributions quicker. They want to do this. They want to do that. We cannot have it both ways, ladies and gentlemen. And so there is no delay period of 24, 48 hours on the rest of those stages. Okay, and the reason for that is because we have to allow you guys to go at your own pace. So, can someone pass you? Can one of your teammates pass you? Oh my God, I've been passed. Don't worry about that. It's irrelevant. Okay, what your founder's position was designed to do has been done in ground zero and in stage one. All right. So, what happens if somebody passes you? Don't worry about it. If you're doing your work correctly, I don't want to call it a job because I don't feel like we have a job. I feel like we are the angels of good news. Okay. And we give the gift of giving, right? So we're the angel of good news and we give the gift of giving. And so if you're doing your work correctly and you're helping people through what? Ground zero, in and out of ground zero, in and out of ground zero, then you have nothing to worry about because your two personally sponsored people are right on your heels. Every step you take, they're taking a step with you. Okay. So when you get to stage five, you don't have to look up and go, oh my God, do I have my two personals with me? There's more qualification here. You don't even have to worry about it. You already know you're in the good, right? Oh, I got the goosies, Brandon. This is good stuff. We've been waiting for this for a minute. Okay. So you already know that you're there and you're qualified and you can step right into stage five. You can step right into stage six. No problem because you're continuing to do what you are supposed to be doing, which is working in ground zero, getting people in and getting people out. I can't say that enough. Now, one thing I do want to address here because it's been a main customer service question recently. Well, Chris, if we're all working in ground zero, the numbers should be going down. How come it keeps getting bigger? Ladies and gentlemen, think about this thing for a second. Just think about it for 1 second. For every one person you help out at ground zero, we're putting two more in. That's a great thing. We want to see 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 in ground zero. Why? Because that volume is moving through the system. As long as we continue to help those ones that come in and replace them with twos, we are golden, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing can stop the train from rolling. There are bridges. There are crossroads. There are going to be places where this train has to slow down. But what I'm going to tell you is it will not slow down at all if we continue putting our gas in ground zero and pushing it to the floor. We're going to be wide open. The world is going to look up at the end of this 60 days and they're going to go, Up2Give. Where did they come from? I'm telling you, put your head down, work in ground zero, stay focused. Don't worry about your contributions, ladies and gentlemen. They are going to come. One thing I can tell you about Jerry Lopez is he's never going to take anything from you. He will give you something before he ever thinks about taking something from you. Okay. So if they're delayed, it happens. I want you guys to think about something. Do some math in your head. If you can't do it in your head, do it on paper. But think about this. If there's 8,000 people right now, and we're less than 24 hours into ground zero, if there's 8,000 people, you do the math. What is the contributions you're looking for? Do 8,000 times 0.01 right now, okay? And you think about all those contributions having to go out, all right? So, Brandon, I know that there's been a couple questions sent directly to you, a couple of inquiries. If you have anything that I can address, I'll be glad to at this point. I have shared pretty much what I wanted to share with everybody, and that is that they're doing such a great job. Corporate is so happy to have each and every one of you guys in our family. You're doing great. Keep up the good work. But, at the end of the day, we got to keep moving. What's up, Brandon?
Well, Chris, if you can hit on this, because people have been very excited seeing in their back office that now there's no more micro transactions taking place, and Jerry mentioned this last week. And so,
Yes.
just like Nancy asked, just the difference between 8 causes to 1 cause, and what that means, and how that works.
Okay, perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, I know you have all been working very hard and diligently in Ground Zero. So, a lot of you may not have had the opportunity to look in your back office. One of the small, minor little changes that's a big deal that was made that most people haven't noticed is when you go to your organization and you go to your current giving box. Okay, if you'll look, all the numbers have changed for what the contributions look like coming to you. Okay, so there was some crazy numbers up there, right? And people were shaking their head and they were rubbing their head and they were going, "Gosh, I can't even understand all this," right? And so what was happening, walk with me for just a second. When you made a contribution, your contribution, be it 0.005 or zero point zero 0.01 or zero point 0.5, it doesn't matter what the contribution was. It was being dispersed out across 8 different organizations, okay, 8 different causes. Now what's happening is we're dispersing that to those causes, but you are going to receive instead of the fractional, okay, instead of the fractional, we're trying to make it as simple as possible and easy to keep up with, right? The accounting for accounting purposes. And each one of us is our own accountant, right? We want to keep up with, did we get everything we were supposed to get for that? It's almost impossible when you're looking at all those fractional contributions. So now what you will get is whatever the contribution says for each stage in your back office, where in that location that I just told you. So for instance, stage 1 and ground zero, you're going to get 2 contributions. Okay. So it makes it easy peasy, right? So if you, and it doesn't become difficult to figure out, right? If you're going to get 2 contributions in ground zero, let's talk about that. Then what is it equal? Zero point zero 0.01. So if you're going to get 2 contributions in ground zero, then what does that mean? You're going to receive a contribution of 0.005 and another 0.005. Okay. So they're doing everything. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we hear everything you guys say. Sometimes you guys probably feel like no one's listening, no one hears you, no one's responding. We hear, but when we hear and we grab a hold of something that you've said that you want, we go immediately to work to try to rectify that, to try to fix it for you guys, because in your eyes, it's broken. Okay. In your eyes, it's broken. May not be in ours, but in your eyes, it is. And after all, the giving box does belong to the people, and it is what? A contribution box, right? So, Brandon, I hope I covered that to the extent that everyone will understand that.
Yeah, now I know you've got a very busy schedule, and I've got an appointment at the top of the hour. Is there anything you'd like to share? Then I'm going to take over and close us out.
You know what, brother? I am good. I'm golden. I just want to thank everybody again for Jerry Lopez, for corporate, for all of our teams, for all the leaders, for all the leadership that each one of you is exemplary showing, and just encourage each one of you guys and gals to continue doing what you're doing. If you do this for 60 days, it's going to change your life. Working ground zero, working ground zero, helping people in and out. It's going to change your lives. Over to you, Brandon.
Thank you very much, Chris. And everybody, I got to say this. A lot of the questions that's being asked, we've covered extensively over and over and over on every presentation. So the best way to stay informed, to learn, is to please plug in. Plug in. For example, we'll have 500 people that will listen to an update call from Jerry, but 100 that will get on a presentation that explains it in detail. And what happens to the other 5,000 that didn't plug in? They send in support tickets asking questions on what we've covered. So please do yourself that favor and your team so that they know what's going on. Now, I want to share a couple of things to what to expect. So now that ground zero is here, and again, I understand some of you have already gone, or you've never gone through a reset before. You made your 0.005 contribution, and you share with two people who have done the same thing. I would suggest you do not contribute into any another stage until you've received all your contributions. Nothing else happens until you do make that contribution and you've received it. So some of you that is already contributing, if you can, into stage one, what happens next? Well, you just got to wait there until you have enough contributions and stage two opens. We're not doing grace periods for stages 1 through stages 6 anymore. The last reset, we had a 48-hour grace period on every single stage, and that took more than 15 days just to go through stage 4. We're not doing that because we need to speed this thing up so that you guys get Bitcoin in your wallets as fast as possible. So the only grace period was on ground zero. Stage 1, in your back office, it will tell you exactly what to do. People will ask me and send me a screenshot. Brandon, it's telling me that I have 1 out of 2, so I can't contribute. What do I do? Well, you only have 1 out of 2. Get the second person. Or wait till you've got 1 out of 2 contributions. When you get your second contribution, then it will allow you to move forward. A lot of this is common sense, but you ask the same question. Just follow the instructions in the back office. When it tells you you're able to do something, that's when you're able to do it. Now, when will we start to receive contributions? After the 24-hour grace period was up, the system now will do all the calculations because you have people that have contributed out of order, meaning the founders, you might have had new people that contributed before the founders did. So the system does its calculation, puts everybody in the order it needs to be, sends off all the contributions into the blockchain. It is out of Up2Give hands at that time. Now, again, because I get this question for the 1,000th time, when people say, well, I could send 1 Bitcoin from my wallet to another wallet and it happens within 5 minutes. Why is it taking yours so long? Because we are not doing it that way. We're not doing one-to-one transactions. We're doing them in bulk using a transit wallet. So when you do it that way, we kind of go back to the back of the line because of the fees. Can you imagine if every single transaction might have either 25 cents to $1, and we're doing 50,000 of them, or 5,000 or 10,000 of them? So the mempool takes over at that point. That's why we added in the back office your ability to see what is the traffic on the blockchain. I fully don't expect to see any ground zero contributions hitting wallets until probably Monday. Not because Up2Give is slow, but because the mempool traffic is very high. You can look at it. And then when that takes place and you start to receive your contributions, and now you're going to make your $100 contribution to go into stage 1, then that's going to, hey, Chris, I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
I forgot to ask.
I'm right here.
Are we still doing once every 24 hours for the company batch contributions going out?
Yes, sir. As of right now, we will be doing that. Further on into our 60 days, who knows? The sky's the limit, right?
That's right. So to understand, once every 24 hours, the system sends out all contributions for that day. It goes to the blockchain. Then it's in the blockchain's hands. So that's how fast that will start to move things. Let me think. Anything else that I need to cover? Go back, if you have not, and listen to the recording that Jerry did this past Wednesday, because he goes in 36 minutes of detail of what the updates and enhancements are. Yeah, I mean, there is no other explanation from coming right out of his mouth. People ask me, want me to be the Jerry whisperer. I'm like, I'm only going to repeat exactly what he said. So go back and listen to that. Continue to, here, I'll give you guys, people always say, Brandon, what is the secret sauce? What's the secret to really making it happen? You guys ready for this? I'm going to tell you the secret to major success here. Here's the secret. Ready for this? Share with two, share with two more, share with two more. Never stop doing that, but then help them share with two and help them share with two. If you follow that format, two, sharing with two, not only will you, this is what it solves. It solves your own personal qualification. It solves the people you're bringing on board, their personal qualifications, so you're helping them to receive contributions and rise through the stages. They're going to love you even more for that. You're helping their people do the same thing. You're also helping to build the global community line, which we all need. We all need this. It is not a one-man show. This is a community effort. The community, here's another thing. You want to know how can I want to get my contributions faster? I'm waiting on contributions. Well, let's put more people into ground zero and moving them out of it. As a company, the more people we have going through the stages, the more all of us win. The faster they're going through the stages, the faster you get contributions. This is why I said in the presentation, if you're that individual that wants to ride the global community line, and one thing that I found is the people who complain the most are the people who's doing the least amount of effort and the least amount of work, because they want something for nothing. I got my 2 because I signed up my cat and dog. Where's my 64 Bitcoin? That's not going to happen. That's not going to fly here. We'd rather not have you. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm coming at the top of the hour. Thank you, Chris, for taking time out of your schedule, for hopping on here to share the news with everybody. Let's continue to go to work. Let's help more people get off of ground zero. Keep an eye on your Bitcoin wallets for when those transactions start hitting your wallet. And let's have a fantastic, I'm telling you, you guys are going to be blown away within the next 30 days, actually. Because, yeah, in the next 30 days, with the information you're about to hear, you only see 70% of what Up2Give is all about. You're about to see the whole game plan. So when you see the whole game plan, you're going to be even more excited about what we have. And it is game time right now. So thank you guys for joining us today. This is being recorded. I'll get this recording up as fast as possible. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Remember, those of you on the Western time zone, I'm doing this presentation again tonight. All you've got to do is invite. Invite. Let me do the rest. You invite 10, you'll have 2. I don't need to tap my own horn, but I'll at least get you 2 if you have 10 on my presentation. See you all tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Tomorrow, we're having our leadership call at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. That call is designed to give recognition and to give shout outs to all the new members. So make sure you let your members know, and it's interactive. We're hearing from all of you. Same website tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And then I'm doing another presentation tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. All right, everybody, take care. Stay safe. God bless. See you all tonight. Bye-bye.
God bless.